Hi everyone. So we are here at the Solutioners community in Serendipia Nest, live from San Francisco. This is the very first episode of the Voice of the Solutioners. And for this very special episode, Louis and I, the two founders of Serendipia Nest, would like to explain a little bit how the genesis of Serendipia Nest happened over the last 5 months. And at the same time, we're going to talk and showcase and put the spotlight on Joe McKinney, co-founder of Startup Societies, who is going to explain what are his solutions to make this world a better place, or at least to disrupt it. So yeah,
hopefully disruption with some positive effects afterwards.
Yeah, I mean in general, yes, not always, but the problem in Silicon Valley is that people tend to see disruption as the way, while it's just sometimes a good way to make a good change and positive change, right?
No, you have to disrupt the existing order to make something good happen in this world.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
That's true. That's actually what we are trying to do with Serendipia Nest.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we can explain a bit now first to our Solutioners viewers how we started. So Louis and I started Serendipia Nest back in the 1st of May. We opened, we found the house in April in the middle of Little Italy, in North Beach here in San Francisco. And our vision for this was really that we wanted to gather all those people together with the same kind of mindset, in a way that they want to make a positive change in this world, right? But they are all like isolated in different parts of the world. They feel very lonely, and people often don't really understand them because those kind of people are usually a little weird, maybe autistic, or just like or just they're weird in their own manner.
It's a spectrum.
Yeah.
That's what makes our community the best. Diverse people, and in very different parts of walks of life.
It's nice to be the token American often in this house.
Yeah, that's true. That's what you are now. But I mean, in the end, like since the beginning, we had like more than 80 people who came, and we had like more than 30 nationalities.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very diverse.
Yeah. They're from all over walks of life. I think pretty much every region has been represented, if not every individual. Not every individual country, but yeah.
No, definitely every continent. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
With Antarctica.
Yeah, actually, you have a friend who's up there trying to build a little startup society. He's going to be speaking at our conference. June.
Cool.
I'd love to
Yeah.
see June here someday.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes, I mean, just to finish a bit of like Serendipia Nest, really. So what made us align is that we are all centered on some same kind of values. We are with like a positive mindset, like a long-term mindset. Want to see things creatively, and we want to be more sustainable. And then, regardless of the manner, that's really the mean. In the end, we want to help humanity to make a smooth shift towards a new world and a new order. Really, that will happen in the next decades and in the next generation, with the rise of like abundance, exponential technologies, singularity coming soon. That you can talk about. What do you think about it? Yeah.
What do I think about the singularity? I'm not an expert. Well, I can simply define the singularity for you viewers that don't know what it is. The singularity is defined when a single AI is smarter than a single individual, and then the singularity ends at the point where there's a single AI that's smarter than all humans put together. And they call it the singularity because of during that time frame, technology is going to increase so exponentially that we cannot even imagine what type of technological improvements will happen. That's sort of like in physics, the singularity refers to the point in a black hole at their event horizon where you can't see beyond it. Because if technology can create itself, we have no idea what it can happen. So there's sort of like this thought in the valley that we're approaching this very soon, around 2045, according to the CTO of Google, Kurzweil. And that may very well happen. But I think people in the valley are probably way more eager than anyone else in the world, and for most people, that scares the shit out of them.
Exactly. People are scared about this future, where you know, like the next 10 years is gonna be the most creative, like. Time frame in the entire history, and after the outcome we don't really know what's gonna be. How we can rely on our community, we can rely on our family, on ourselves, and we just have to become the best version of ourselves until then, because our skill set is really what's gonna make us have a competitive advantage in this whole world, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's very strange. I mean, like, even the positive parts about singularity kind of scare people. Like, living forever. That concept alone scares people. Would you set yourself a...
Well, I mean, to
If
be
you-
honest, like, it will be interesting. Like, just all, I'm very curious as a whole, so I definitely would like to see what's gonna happen in 1,000 years.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, but then what about your body, right? You will just live life differently. But if,
Probably won't have a body insofar as this organism right here. It'll probably be parts that you swap in and out.
yeah,
Or
that's,
download yourself.
it's gonna be
into.
more like transhumanist.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we'll cease to be human and then we'll become the Ubermensch. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. No. So that's really great. So yeah. So we started like 5 months ago, and in the end, we were like 6 really person like to be there at the very beginning. Joe was one of us. There was Patrick, Daniel, like author of The Sinker, was here. Like, hi to Patrick. And really like also we
He
want.
really helped move our thinking forward.
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
Like,
change the whole direction of Serendipia.
because he's actually
Find solutions.
because he's really doing a philosophy of thinkers that are thinking. So
Moving the thinking forward.
yeah. Anyway, so like this a great moment because now we have more than 80 solutioners who came. Everybody came and they found this community. Like, it was really something particular, and people were unique and interesting in their own manner. So now, Louis, what do you think? Like, really, what? After we started in May, we were 6 of us. It's 5 months later, we've been 80. We had many people who want to help us like make Serendipia communities all around the world. We are becoming a strong brand, and I mean, yeah, it's like an amazing job.
I think so much has changed since we started in May, and as you said, we're only a few people in the beginning, and now we're pretty much consistently full. And I think we attract really, really talented people, not only through friends, but more random people find us and they think that we have a great community and they love what we do. And I think we learned a lot about organizing everything. We did some changes not only in furniture arrangements, but also in setting rules and accommodating everyone better. And I feel like these first months were a huge learning process that we made the accommodation so much better, even from the start where it was already so good, keeping in mind that we're in San Francisco and this beautiful neighborhood, and now we've got really good operations. I'd say we have a community manager who's really amazing, who's coming in and starting to take care of everything in the house, and then we're planning to expand to different markets, and I'm pretty sure that we can expand the same concept and move the same mentality into different houses and bring even more people together to share their lifetimes and share ideas and move a lot of issues forward, such as the sustainability goals of United Nations.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's well summed up. What's happening here is just a lot of serendipity in the end. I mean, for the
It's a good word.
right. So yeah, I mean, we're really getting all those people and trying to. We're making forums also. We have also weekly events. Sometimes it's just dinners. Sometimes we're a bigger event where we are showcasing startups. People like talking about what they are doing, so we give them a platform where they can share what they are doing, getting feedback, and ultimately to find like more loving solutions for the world. Yeah.
And I love that you mentioned serendipity, because the first serendipity moment that happened was very, very funny, and it was of course very serendipitous. And there was one of our beloved guests, Crystal, who was staying here, and while she was here in the lounge area, there was some friends visiting us, completely random friends that Crystal didn't know about. And then they started talking, and Crystal was saying that she's attending one conference here in San Francisco, and Crystal is originally from New York. So one of the girls from the friends who were visiting turns out to be from New York, attending exactly the same conference, and they've never met before, and they even live in New York, a few blocks away. So that's just incredible serendipity, and it keeps happening all the time here.
Yeah, exactly. But the beauty of it is when you can really use this intangible serendipity that we are creating, to move ideas forward, like create collaborations and starting to work together. We're starting like to match like designers, developers with founders of companies to like just facilitate the whole process of creating your company and creating like this community of support. So now maybe Joe, we can talk a bit about you.
Okay.
So you are working on really interesting and passionating things with startup societies. So what exactly is startup societies?
Sure. Startup Societies is a think tank that studies experimental societies. We provide, so right now people are trying to change things within currently existing structures. And there's a lot of incentives within changing a political system that makes it really hard to change things from within. So we sort of came about the strategy that perhaps we should create examples of different methods out in the world on a small scale and see if they work, and then scale them if they succeed, and that will sort of force or compel governments to adopt these programs. It could be anything. I mean, Startup Society can include communes or private cities or seasteads or areas that are governed by blockchain and digital interfaces.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe for audience, you know what? Because this sounds really intriguing.
Yeah.
It's new for a lot of people. They would think, "Oh, you are crazy," right? But I really believe in it. I see that a lot of people in this house too think that like the world is being reorganized slowly but surely. People are more focusing on the bad news than on the opportunities, but here we're focusing on the opportunities. So for you, why would really startup societies make this world a better place in the end, simply?
Well, precisely what you're saying. People have become progressively more negative with politics. Luckily for me, I was negative more early on, so I was able to grow out of it a little bit. I got sick of, the cynicism, the idea that we can't do anything or that no change can be made, but that's because I was looking in the wrong places to make change. Change can be made, and I'm optimistic about new things. Existing structures, I think they're going to fail. But I think
it's already failing.
Yeah, it's obviously failing right now. But I think there's a tremendous opportunity to use the technologies in this sort of initiative in 2016 to create new things. People are hungry for new solutions, for a new way of thinking. And now we can actually make it practical. Working in existing institutions is no longer the practical option. It's no longer idealism versus practicality. The idealistic option is now the practical option.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think that the even better model is really like to use the existing institutions to like kind of jumpstart or have like organization coming out of it, or like use their support to use their credibility.
Sure.
But then to like build your new system upon. I mean, I don't know if they would be happy to hear that actually. But
well, I mean, that's kind of what it is. You got to use diplomacy to create these experiments. Work with people to say, hey, we want this area that we want to be semi-autonomous, and to try this little experiment. It'll benefit you because you'll get revenue or you'll get increased economic metrics. But at the same time, it will probably come as their undoing because we're ceding more authority to the autonomous region than to the nation state. But I'm looking forward to working in tandem with nations and states. I don't see them as antagonistic. I see as more competition. If in a good market, you should have many choices. And I think now that people have a diverse set of beliefs in regards to politics, I think that the market should reflect that. And I think it will in the future.
Absolutely. And I see that not only on politics, but like as Patrick is working like on like new way of thinking, and like here also like Serendipia, and it's like a new set of beliefs and mindset that we want to share with people, because like what I believe like on that is that there is a big crisis in the belief systems. People don't really know what to believe in anymore, or they are believing things like that are being very negative, they're influenced in the wrong manner with the media. So what we're really trying to do here is like bring this like a positive outlook and put a spotlight on people that can bring like new positive systems and help us to move forward as humanity and to be in harmony with the world as a whole.
Well, never since the Gutenberg press have we had such an increase in availability of information, and so there's probably this need for new way of thinking has come out of you have to deal with so much information. Before, there would be gatekeepers to information; they would tell you what your opinions are, but now people have to make their own, and unfortunately, a lot of people aren't willing to make opinions or to have an ideology, and that's why it's kind of confused, and you have a situation like 2016 where elections are driven by emotions or tribe identity. But there's like people like Patrick and millennials and global digital nomads and entrepreneurs that are thinking, okay, maybe we have to develop schemas to analyze all this information, find out what is crap, find out what is good. But I think a lot of that is driving a serious faction of real changers. People can really shift the world.
And I think Serendipia facilitates that exchange of information, because I would say that a lot of people who come here, they are not really aware of startup societies, for example. And then they talk to you, Joe, and then they understand the values and like the potential that startup societies can bring to the world. And I think that
how it already brought value to the world. I mean, Singapore, Hong Kong, Shenzhen, they're all examples of startup societies. People have been to those places and seen the world.
Yeah, and it's working.
It's working well.
So no, exactly. And one of those new way of really like organize the world in the end is, I think that this whole like turn of co-living, which at the beginning I really saw co-living as a fun way to live with people and have fun with your friends. But in the end, I think that there was a much bigger picture behind the co-living. Like when I went to the Novus Summit, like I saw there was that guy who wrote actually a book. I don't remember his name. I mean, I will put it in the downstairs here in the comments. But
below.
That's what we say, you know. And he was really saying like co-living as a much more like solution actually to the whole world issues, because we are becoming so many in the world that we need to learn to cohabitate better together, like have empathy for the people and being able to collaborate together towards the same kind of goals. So people here developing emotional intelligence, they learn how to live with people and to collaborate, and that's key for me, really.
Oh, absolutely. Not only is it like a normative thing that we should do more co-living, it's sort of descriptively what's happening. You know, millennials, they aren't buying homes, they aren't settling down in marriages, they're not buying cars, and they're probably like partially employed or like loosely employed or like are on freelancer jobs. So it makes a lot of sense that they would sort of move into this sort of atmosphere that's reminiscent of dorms. Mm-hmm. And I think they work precisely why cities work. Cities work because they have high density. You have multiple chances of people to bump up with one another and then share ideas, and those ideas have sex. And ultimately, that's what happens. Like, good ideas spread like a virus, and they need... Well, viruses spread asexually, so that's a bad analogy. But the point being that co-living spaces are a microcosm of cities, because if they have that high density, you're literally like sharing a room with someone or across the hall from someone, and you can't really isolate yourself in your studio apartment listening to Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to face your emotions, because like when somebody feels bad, we just go and talk to them and say, hey, what's wrong? What's happening? Yeah. So in the end, maybe if you'll be alone, you just to keep it for yourself, and then you have to get it out of yourself, and your friends here will help you like to solve it, you know.
It really helped round out my social skills, I think, and my emotional skills, because of you realize that your emotions don't just affect you, they affect everyone around you. So you have to guard your emotions, not guard, but you have to
you have to learn to like keep your manage
your emotions, not just for yourself but for the sake of others, because of, you know, if you're having a bad day, even if you're not saying anything, like your sort of energy will just like permeate from people. And I don't usually, you guys, I don't like to use the word energy or vibes, but like people get intuition, like something's fucked up, and that sort of spreads to everyone else. So
yeah, exactly. Like I really believe into energy actually, and into like spread of energy, and you can feel it, right? You can really feel when somebody is
absolutely. And I would say that a lot of people, you can even notice that transformation that they experience here when they come first, and they're used to having their own homes or apartments, and they come and start share the place. They, for maybe a few hours or one day, they seem to be more constrained, but then they adapt and start sharing the energy and like start belonging to the community and start sharing. So that's actually a very beautiful transition that you can sometimes see.
It's kind of like sometimes you kind of take a couple of missteps and a couple more, and suddenly you're going in time with the other person or the group of people. I don't know. Bad.
Yeah,
analogy.
that's true. No. I mean, it's pretty much, but you are aligning with the community. But it's so true, actually. Like, really, some examples. A lot of people who first came here got inspired to start new things, or like to go for their dreams, or just feeling better, or just feeling empowered. Like, we're coming to Patrick again, but because it's a very unique individual, let's say.
He's the missing founder in this whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then when he came here, I mean, he was a little bit like he's working on all those amazing things, interviewing people and like trying to find new ways of thinking. But then by having all those conversations day after day, and at the end of the month, like really, he realized that what he had more tips, and with all the feedbacks he got from the community, he realized that he has to build. What was missing for him was a brand, actually. Was really to have his brand and to really like advertise all these things, and to have this brand where he could maybe write a book and finish something. How many times I told him and said, Patrick, you have to finish something. Every day I was doing something new. But so, I mean, that's an example. Or many people, like even like Celine, she's starting a blog about like the green fantasy.
Yeah, she wants to use behavioral economics to create more environmentally friendly cities.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact of being here, she want to share all of her knowledge with people and writing a blog. So people are getting empowered, people are collaborating, and Heidi's are having sex.
I would even say
I like that one.
I would even say that we're building collective intelligence. Like the internet, at first it was just some random computers connected together, but now we have all the information of the world on the internet, and I think what's going to follow is people going to have collective intelligence too, and can have collective emotions, and I think we facilitate that here, maybe not across the world yet, but then at least in this small place in North Beach, San Francisco, that we have collective mindset of 14 people.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully by next year, by the next 6 months, we should open in Dubai and New York.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting. But yeah, again, it's all about the mindset, right? I mean, like we don't want to go into a franchise model or that kind of thing. I mean, the aim is to build a community. We don't want to scale without like thinking. We want to be very mindful and conscious, because the aim is like just to keep the community as it is. And if it's like a place not the right fit for it, we really won't go for it. But so we want to go there personally and get the right people together. Because that's where the magic's happening.
To bring great ideas together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's great. That's great. Cool, guys. I mean, yeah. So, Joe, wish you good luck on Societies.
Oh, thank you.
And I mean, we'll be around anytime. You'll always be welcome here. You are now a solutioner. And,
good.
We should go there also on your. Oh, maybe do you want to talk about your summit that you're having in Greece?
Yeah, sure. So on October 15th to the 20th, we are hosting a summit in Athens, and then we're holding a seminar in Rhodes. So the conference is going to be open to the public. It's just going to be speakers like the former G8 and economic advisor to Vladimir Putin, the creator of Eco Villages, Mark Fraser, and people that are creating the special economic zones in Honduras, among others that I can't think of at the moment. But then we're taking the plane the roads, and we'll have workshops on how to create infrastructure or to lobby governments, just basically like practical things of how we can create startup societies now. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. And we're going to have one in DC in January, and then we're having a San Francisco conference in March.
Yeah, I actually had the privilege to be at the very first one.
Oh, yeah.
In New Hampshire.
In New Hampshire, you spoke there.
Yeah, and I wish I could be at the next one.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's say next one. We're working hard on the Thailand, on Limitless in Thailand. Right?
Oh man, I wish I could come to that.
Yeah, too, right? Anyway,
we'll be mutually missing out on our individual things. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, I mean, amazing dude right here, and so grateful to work with Louis together, hand in hand, to like build more collaborative and more sustainable communities for the future, and help to like achieve those sustainable development goals, global goals set by the UN as well. So yeah, I mean, thank you guys. Any last thoughts that you want to have?
Let's just empower serendipity.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. All right. Yeah. Joe learned French. Okay.
Oh God.
But thank you so much, guys, for watching us. The very first episode of the Voice of Solutioners, like to showcase the voice of people being in the community of Serendipia to make this world a better place and help humanity to survive in the third millennium. Stay tuned for the second episode that's gonna showcase another one of our solutioners. We'll let from where they're coming from. It could be from Europe or America. One chance out of two. If you win, we will send you some solutions.
Some vibes.
Yeah, some vibes.
Some energy.
Exactly. So yeah, you can comment here and win some vibes and solutions. We made some surprises. See you guys. See you next time. Cheers.
Bye.